What are the first words that come to your mind when you hear the word Ticketmaster?
Waiting in a queue to buy a ticket. Fees.
Fees is good. Monopoly. Yeah. Ticketmaster loves Monopoly. Runaway. Yeah. All right. So something that I'm sure all of us had in our minds about Ticketmaster was we don't pay enough for tickets. I was like, wow, we really should pay more for tickets.
I hope I can use all of my expendable income to buy a single ticket. I actually hope that ticket prices get so expensive that I struggle to put food on the table for myself and my animals. If that can happen, I'll be very happy. Yeah.
At least you got to see Baby Metal.
No one's ever said that. It's fucking dumb. It's fucking dumb. I said it with a very obvious amount of sarcasm. And if you guys actually think I want to pay more for tickets,
I think you really do want to pay for.
I'm just a really good actor, Ellen.
What I heard was Shade likes expensive stuff. I mean, come on, you got $300 headphones on. Yeah, I mean,
I do like expensive stuff. That's not untrue. I do have expensive taste.
See, there's some truth to everything, you know? Behind all sarcasm, there's a little bit of truth going on.
Yeah. I paid for multiple VIP packages for bands.
So let's give a backstory on Ticketmaster, okay? There are like little ordeals that they've had over the years. So we got the 1990s, right? Pearl Jam versus Ticketmaster. Back in the mid-90s, Pearl Jam took a stand accusing Ticketmaster of monopolistic practices and excessive service fees. They even testified before Congress calling Ticketmaster's fees unfair. To fans, of course, nothing was fixed. And then in the 2000s, mergers and monopoly concerns. In 2010, Ticketmaster merged with Live Nation, which has been the biggest, craziest thing that has happened with them in general, because they're controlling all the venues on top of that. And so you can just really dictate prices a lot easier that way. And so they're creating a powerhouse that controlled both ticketing and event promotions. And critics warned this gave the company too much control over the industry, which it sure did. In recent years, though, they've had a fee backlash and lawsuits. Fans have long complained about hidden fees that sometimes nearly double the cost of a ticket. In 2022, the fiasco over Taylor Swift's Eras Tour pre-sale caused nationwide outrage, with millions of fans locked out or forced into resale markets. This even triggered Senate hearings on Ticketmaster practices, which is crazy because like nothing's been done because Ticketmaster does a lot of lobbying. For those that don't know, they're paying a lot of money to politicians to make sure that certain bills don't get signed into legislation. And this has been an ongoing practice in the U.S. for a very long time. Look at this man. This is
the best picture, by the way. He looks a little suspicious of his own shadow in this picture.
Yeah, like when you think of a person who's full of shit, this is exactly what I imagine.
We're going to get an email asking us to take this podcast down from Michael Rapino's staff.
And the fact that his name's Michael Rapino, I was just like, of course that's his name. It sounds like the shady businessman.
He looks shadier than shade. I need Champ back. I need a buffer between all these foes. I'm not a boxer. I don't deserve to stand here and get hit like this. I don't have the chin for it.
In a recently released video, the CEO, Michael Rapino of Live Nation Ticketmaster, declared that he believes concert tickets are underpriced. In his words, he argued that increased demand, production costs, and the sale of modern tours justify higher ticket prices. At a CNBC conference, Rapino compared Beyonce tickets to courtside Knicks seats and insisted there's still a runaway to charge fans more. To give some credit, he was at an investors meeting pretty much, you know, and you need to convince investors to invest into your company, buy more stocks.
The context is important. Yeah. He was talking to board members and executive stakeholders. It was a growth conversation, and he was saying, we're a runway for growth. That context
is important.
It got leaked to the public because it's a publicly traded company, and
I would probably, you know, we don't demand phones not being at concerts, but maybe we should demand phones not be at any of these press conferences. It's one of those moments where like, hey guys, no phones, leave the phone at the door.
My controversial take on it, as the guy who pays too much for things, I don't disagree that ticket prices could probably be more expensive if those ticket prices go to the bands. It's the fees that are out of control. If I pay $30 for a ticket, but at $25 in fees, I'd feel better about paying $50 for the ticket and no fees. Obviously, they're going to charge something for the platforming, but I'd rather pay more for the ticket that might have profit sharing with the artist rather than paying fees that go to the platform. That is bullshit.
Just to add to that, he mentions in this conference that the average ticket's only like $96 or like $100, and some people are like, in the comment section saying like, no, it's 120. I'm like, both of you are wrong. It's more like 200 for some of these tickets because of the resale. I don't think he has any idea about the resale of these tickets. He's only seeing what he puts out there as a price. He's completely out of touch with what's actually going on. Either he's oblivious or he knows damn well what's going on, and he's tricking his shareholders at that meeting, like not giving them the other context of what could be hurting the business. Because if you own a stock in a company, I don't want to hear the bad news. I don't want to hear about all the potential downfalls. Like, give me all the good shit, you know? Essentially, if you're a good investor, you want to know both. But, you know, most people don't. They just put in their money, like, hey, just make us more. We don't care how you do it. They're just trying to grow their wealth as much as they can.
Marduk put in a comment, like, Love Bites is $32 in Ohio. I paid 32 for them to come to Dallas. But I also didn't go through Ticketmaster. I think that makes more sense that the platform is what's charging more.
When I was on tour, Ticketmaster venues were the best venues. They were the nicest. They had the nicest rooms for the bands. Remember Gus G and I sitting in this one room. They had showers for the bands at most of these venues, which was kind of wild. The ones that I went to for Ticketmaster, because the comparison between the Ticketmaster venues that I went to and the mom and pop is quite different. Very different. There's only one place out somewhere in the Midwest. I can't remember if it was like Illinois or no, not Illinois. I can't remember which state it was. It was out in the middle of the country. It was a winery area, and that venue was really nice. But that was the only venue that had anything close to Ticketmaster. And they obviously weren't making money from concerts. They were making money from alcohol.
That's true. I'm not against the idea of paying more to see good bands. To your point about Love Bites coming back out here, I would love to pay more if that means the band is getting paid more and that will incentivize them to come back. I don't think just having cheap tickets is the solution. That doesn't really help the bands that I'm trying to pay. That's why when I go to a show, I try to buy merch, like a direct line to benefit the band.
I got to give Japanese fans in the U.S. some credit. They go crazy on the merch. They're really helping them. Even Gus G was telling me when we were on tour, in the U.S. is the greatest place to sell merch because everyone buys more than one. In Europe, they'll just buy one thing. We make way more off of merch in the U.S. That's why a lot of bands like to tour over here.
Yeah, I wish they didn't turn a blind eye to the scalpers in the secondhand market, though.
Totally what they're doing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I wish they didn't do that as much. I mean, I can only really compare it to like the experience I had in Japan versus here, where like Japan, I got ripped off for tickets, but that was my fault. I paid through StubHub, which is almost exclusively a resale site.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
So I got ripped off for that.
Yeah. How much did you pay, Shade?
It was like $500 for those seats. And I was so far away. The guy next to me had binoculars. And I was jealous. I was so far away.
True fan. See, he paid $500 for a concert he could barely see. We got to give him some credit. Let's give Shane some credit. We're giving him a lot of blows today. But you know what? This man paid $500 to see Baby Metal barely in Japan.
Hey, I saw that.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. We love you, Shade.
I have seen them like up close and personal in Dallas. I moshed like crazy in Chicago. I've had really cool experiences of Baby Metal so far this year because I saw them right there in the front with you and Janine in Dallas. I wasn't really moshing until the end. I was right there in the front experiencing the barrier. Then we moshed like crazy in Chicago the whole time. Got sweaty with all my boys. So that's always fun. Then I flew to Japan, saw them in the Japan crowd, and got to meet all the Japanese fans. Got to hit the trifecta of ways to see Baby.
All within a year. That's why we need to put all the clips together and just send it to Eric and show him what's up.
Well, after November 1st, when we go to LA, we'll put some together.
I still need to get that figured out. I don't have tickets for that. Anyways, back to the news article we're talking about. He also made the point that an average fan isn't paying
enough. Net worth is $980 million, by the way.
Not even $1 billion.
That's why he wants you to pay more. He's trying to get that big B.
What is he doing? How is he a CEO with all this inflation and you're not at $1 billion yet? Bro, you're supposed to be halfway to $1 trillion by now. What a loser.
What is Ticketmaster evaluated at right now? I'm curious because it's public, right?
Oh my God, that's true. Rapino in Italian, it literally means I rob.
Does it really?
I don't know if that's true, but cool.
I don't even want to fact check that. I just want that to be true.
Critics say this statement smacks a tone of deafness.
Yeah, absolute tone deaf.
Especially given accusations that Ticketmaster already prices fans out of many shows like we were just talking about. So with the DOJ and the FTC already going after Live Nation for monopoly practices, this latest comment pissed people off. On social media, many fans accuse the CEO of being disconnected from the reality of fans' budgets and rising costs of living. Some responses were scathing with, "We're already paying so much. How much more do you think we can take?" It's true, though. Others try to take a more analytical tone. If ticket prices go up again, it'll kill grassroots shows and push fans toward piracy or skipping live concerts altogether. And that's completely true. And I mean, it's already happening with YouTube. YouTube has been a very crazy outlet for doing these kind of things. And that's why they, hand out strikes for certain concert footage, and they've been taking down videos.
Ken in the Twitch chat said that Ticketmaster's revenue is at $23 billion. I don't know if that's true. I think that's their market reach is $23 billion, but I know Live Nation is almost at $40 billion, which owns Ticketmaster.
That's pretty weak revenue. Come on. You should be already at 100 billion. Most great companies are at 100 billion. You're just not doing something right. And they need to step it up.
It is fun to watch the
Ticketmaster.
The valuation drop in the last 2 days because of these comments.
I know I should have shorted the stock. I normally do that. I did that with United Healthcare when the whole CEO thing happened. I'm like, shorting the stock. And bam, made some quick money off of that. Wait, why is Alan going to hell for shorting United Healthcare? The corporate greedy assholes? Yeah. I shorted them.
GameStop all over again.
GameStop. It dipped like $100, like right after that. The whole thing went down. Everyone was boycotting United Healthcare. You're right. I should have helped United Healthcare reach another billion. You're right, Janine. Damn it. I fucked up. We all can't be perfect. Sometimes we just don't have $1 billion.
I certainly don't. If I did, I'd have Linkin Park playing on my stream for sure.
That was a clip from the Solid Sound podcast that we do live every Sunday at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Check out the full podcast for this clip right here. See y'all in the next one. See you.